Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And we are on the radio. I love this station. They're the biggest country giant in South Carolina, and they're proud of their football. I'm just telling you that. And that's WZLA. They're 92.9 on the FM, so you can find us there as well. Continue sending emails. I love them. Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. I appreciate all the email you send out there. And AP Steadham has been with us for a very long time. He's our resident sports guy. So glad to have you because, I mean, you really know football. I mean, you know all sports. But again, thank you for everything that you bring to the show. We definitely appreciate that, AP.
Hey, Don, it's my pleasure. We've had a lot of fun through the years, and you get me to voice some opinions that we can share with people. And, you know, we like opinions. We have strong opinions, and we welcome other opinions as well.
Absolutely. That's what makes the world go around. You know, sometimes somebody may have an opinion that's a little bit different than mine, but if I listen to it, I may tweak my belief just a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want as much knowledge as you can moving forward. And if I would tell people, if you know me, if you know there's something that I said to not be true or needs to be, have more information, please let me know. I mean, that's the way I could view the world. You know, just I'm open to suggestions and comments and thoughts and observations from everyone else.
Well, let's talk about the football season and how it's ending.
Right. Yeah, Donna. Go ahead. I was going to say I was at the Orange Bowl last week, Donna. I was there, Texas Tech out of the Big 12 versus Oregon out of the Big 10. And I think I explained this to you in your audience. I was there because the president of the Orange Bowl, he had invited me, and I made a promise. And although the SEC teams were in Pasadena, Alabama played Indiana in the Rose Bowl, and Georgia played Ole Miss in Sugar Bowl, I kept my promise to President Eric Palms, and they treated me very well. And I'm glad I made the trip. And now we're going to be headed down to Phoenix, Arizona for the Fiesta Bowl. That'll involve Ole Miss out of the SEC versus Miami out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And then that's on a Thursday night game. And then we'll hustle to Atlanta Friday morning and see the Indiana versus Oregon game at the Peach Bowl. Then we'll make a trek northward for a little while. Then we'll head back down to Miami for the national championship game. So we're making a little run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a globetrotter now, you know. You've been one for years. So let's talk about the games from last week and how they fared.
Yeah, Donna, the biggest surprise for me, I mean, excuse me, I know Ole Miss upset Georgia. They were a slight underdog, about 6 points, but that Alabama game where they scored 3 points and Indiana out of the Big Ten, the number one team and seed, they proceeded to beat Alabama by 35 points. That's one of the worst losses in their bowl history of all time. And it was very surprising that they weren't able to even compete. There's one thing that I projected Indiana to win, but Alabama did not compete that day, which is very disappointing when you made the playoffs. You're one of the 12 teams that are fortunate to earn a berth, and your performance was atrocious.
What happened?
Well, Donna, Alabama has this Achilles heel all year. They can't run the football. And so you become one-dimensional. And when you have a team that can rush the passer, play good defense, then it gives them the advantage because they're ready for your passing game on the first down. They're not waiting to see if you're going to throw the ball. They know more than likely you're going to throw the football because you can't run. So if you're one-dimensional, that's something that every defensive coach dreams up a game plan to make the other team be dependent on one phase of the game, and that way you can game plan accordingly and act accordingly with your schemes to stop that phase of their game. So, but Alabama couldn't stop Indiana. Indiana's a balanced team, excellent offensive line. A couple of running backs run for 800, 900 yards. The Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, he only had 2 incompletions done. He had 3 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than incompletions. You can believe that. And he only threw it, I think it was 16 times total, because they were able to run the football and do other things offensively besides put it in the air. And they're a solid team, don't make many mistakes. And Indiana is the toast of the college football world at this moment. I just felt strongly about them to start the season. I'm not sure if I had them in my top 10, but I know I had them in my poll. And then they were in my top 10 very quickly as the season progressed. And Alabama had these ups and downs with their season. They make some mistakes, turnovers, penalties, couldn't run the football, allowed 200 and something yards on the ground against Indiana. That's not good, Donna, when you can run the football, because that means you're in control and able to select if you're going to pass or run, keeping the defense on edge at all times.
Were they just tired?
Oh, they had some time to rest, between that Oklahoma game, the first playoff game. So, it was a long trip out there, of course. But Alabama, they have to get some offensive linemen. And they don't need the best offensive linemen, but they need a group, Donna. I would say it's like a chorus line. You have to be in sync and together, because if there's one person that's not on the right page and your communication is lacking, then that person is subject to let their defensive player get to the quarterback or the running back and cause negative plays. So Alabama, they ended up, I think, 20th, 25th or something, rushing in the country. That's 136 teams, and you're 120 something from the University of Alabama, where they've had all these Heisman Trophy running backs and all conference running backs, all Americans, and you can't run the football. So there's something drastically deficient with that program right now.
Well, I'll have to tell you, I'm surprised. I really thought it might wind up being a kick, maybe the kicker deciding the game.
Ball game, right? Yeah, Indiana was favored, I think, by 6 points, which was a huge number in and of itself. Indiana was at about 42% winning percentage all time, one of the worst, if not the worst. And here's Alabama with all their national championships and winning in the Rose Bowl through the years and all these other bowls around the country, most bowl wins. They're right in the top, I think they're in the top 3 now, all-time winning, something like that, at least the top 5. But it was a total surprise, but it looked all natural to Indiana. They weren't fazed by the name Alabama, because I tell people that student athletes, history for them is maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't know their tradition, and so they had showed no fear, which is what you want as a coach. Yeah, the coach knows about Alabama because he was there coaching Julio Jones and company, the wide receivers at Alabama, for 4 years under Nick Saban. But the players, they don't have this grasp and this aura of playing Alabama. They know the name is big. They understand that brand is big, and they've won championships and things. But that Indiana team, they play like they're the boss.
Okay, what does Alabama have to do to be much more competition than they were this past year? What do they need to do next season?
Yeah, they've got to get some running backs that are better than are on the roster at the moment. They can break some tackles, let's say. They've got to get a host of offensive linemen that they feel confident can be successful at the point of attack, running the ball. They're going to have to continue to improve their passing game. They'll have a competition for the quarterback position. I know Austin Mack, the second string quarterback, he's from California by University of Washington. He came down to Tuscaloosa with Kalen DeBoer when he became the head coach. They have him and Keelan Russell out of Duncanville, Texas, the national high school freshman of the year. So he was on the bench this year, played a little bit, but there'll be quarterback competition. I think Ty Simpson, the quarterback of Alabama, is going to make his decision. I would think he's going to go pro. I don't know, but because I just don't think if he tries to come back, that you would have those same 3 quarterbacks. They would have to make a decision to move on to another school in the transfer portal. And the transfer portal is January 2nd right now to the January 16th. So there's a lot of movement. I think there's 4,000 to 5,000 players in that transfer portal down. And one thing I like to just make the audience aware, some of these players, Donna, they're not going to get offers. Their football career might be over. They think they're in the transfer portal and teams will come after them, but they might be playing at a different level, maybe drop down to FCS or some other level of football. But I'm not sure. I would say with confidence they're all not going to receive FBS level offers that they like.
Well, I'm going to say if you didn't show up for your bowl games or if you didn't show up for that would have to factor in whether another team grabs you or not.
Yeah, Donna, in this day and age, the only thing that factors into the decision is if the person cannot participate in the game. In other words, by some magic, they're ineligible academically. We haven't heard those terms in years because everybody's transferring so fast. You just don't hear anybody being academically ineligible anymore. I don't even know the last time I heard that term, to tell you the truth. Or if you're some type of trouble off the field. But coaches, Donna, they revive people's careers all the time. And so they don't look at it, these little side steps and deviations from doing the right thing. They say, we can take this young person and we'll rehab them and we'll get some performance out of them, the production, because our livelihood depends on these individual players. And so coaches will take almost anybody down.
I don't know. That just leaves a sour note with me. I mean, that is just, it's incredible that we've come down.
That's the reality of college athletics, Donna. People, the pressure is so great to win because not only are you receiving a big salary, but the president's athletic director is looking to have people in the stands. And so it's very important to them that you are at least competing to win and specifically winning.
So how would Coach Paul Bear Bryant handle this situation?
Yeah, he would adapt to the rules because all great leaders, they adapt and adjust and improvise. And so he would, whether he liked the rule or not, he might fuss about it publicly, but behind the scenes, he's trying to do his very best to acquire talent because that's the name of the game. You have enough talent to challenge for the conference championship and earn berths to the championship round of your sport, which is college football. So he's a person that adapted his whole life. So he wouldn't have an issue. He may not like it. He would. Yeah, he may not like it chasing all over the country for these 19-year-olds that think they should be playing more, and some of them have a bad attitude and maybe been in trouble. But he would make sure that his program is not infiltrated with people that would destroy it. Mm-hmm. He might take a gamble on a couple players, but he's not going to have his roster full of people that are huge question marks.
Well, yeah. I'm just going to tell you, Coach Bryant, I mean, he really got on Joe Namath. So what do you think Joe Namath is saying about the culture now?
Yeah, Joe Namath, I mean, he would have been at the top of the list. He would have been offered so much money. Who knows if he would have stayed at Alabama. Alabama probably would have outbid anybody, but he would have been the prime candidate to receive the most money because he plays the most important position and because he was one of the best at playing the quarterback position. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be wearing two mink coats right now.
Oh, my goodness, He might buy him. Yeah, I might buy him a store in town, sell them or something.
He'd just be wearing them. He wouldn't want to sell
them. Right.
Let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at TwinCityUsedCars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge television and radio talk show where truth matters. I have AP Steadham with me right now. Now, AP is also AP as we see it. He's the voice for that. So what's been going on with the show?
Donna, I'd like to announce today we had an outstanding guest. We had the voice of the Hoosiers, the Indiana football and basketball program, and he's been with them for 53 years, Don Fisher. So he was, gracious enough to come on the show. We taped that today. It'll be on our next episode. You can see it on our YouTube channel, AP as we see it, and then of course hear it on our Spotify. The audio is archived, and then all the channels around the Southeast here. So yeah, Don Fisher, and what a magical season for him to be the broadcaster for this Indiana team. They went back to the Rose Bowl after 58 years, and they have the Heisman Trophy winner, and they're in the midst of the playoffs and they're favored to be a national champion. This might be his greatest year in broadcasting for him with all those accolades that are coming to Bloomington, Indiana. So Don Fisher, he's the Chris Schenkel Award winner in 2022. Chris Schenkel was a great voice of college football prior to Keith Jackson. Some people remember Chris Schenkel. He's an Indiana native himself, went to Purdue, but he used to do the college football games every Saturday. And they'd have that one game. And I always take note that when Chris was broadcasting, Chris Schenkel, he would say sometime, and we have the lovely co-eds. And of course, you wouldn't say that now, but he would say that. I just remember that when I was a kid. And I was thinking, what's a co-ed? What's a co-ed? I had to look that up.
I'd be
I was
okay
10 years old, right? Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. So let's talk about the college football season and how it's ending. And as far as your countdown, let's do
right. Yeah, we have the SEC, Donna, with Ole Miss still alive. They upset Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, an exciting game. Those two teams played earlier in the season. I think it was 43-35, and Ole Miss was ahead the second half over at Athens, and they couldn't hold on to the lead. But before the game, I I'll just tell you, I picked Georgia to win. They did not. I picked Ohio State to win against Miami. Miami won. And I picked Texas Tech to beat Oregon. So Oregon won. But anyway, what I said about the Georgia Ole Miss game was that Ole Miss, if they could play a little more defense, get a few more possessions, they would definitely have a chance to win. Because of their quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, he's been so dynamic. You know, he won a Division II title at Ferris State. So he's played in high-pressure games, not to this level, but he's still been in championship games when it had to be, you had to produce and score touchdowns for your team. So he's been magnificent for them. And the game will be played in the Fiesta Bowl on Thursday evening. So Ole Miss, an underdog to Miami. Miami runs the football very well, and they have people that can get after the quarterback. Their defensive line is one of the better ones in the country. So Trinidad Chambliss is a dynamic dual threat quarterback, and he escaped the rush enough to pass the ball down the field for the Ole Miss team, which scores a lot of points. That's their forte. And could Ole Miss play a little bit better defense and hold on? And then you have the other game in Atlanta. The Peach Bowl will be Indiana, the Big Ten champion, facing Oregon. Those teams played in October. Indiana won on the road, a very tough place to win at Autzen Stadium in Oregon, 30-20. Can Indiana continue steamrolling these teams? They're about only a 4-point favorite, but I think Indiana still overall has the most balance. They have the Heisman Trophy winner. They have excellent receivers, running backs, offensive line. The offensive line, one of the players was the MVP of the Rose Bowl, which is, I don't even know if that ever happened before, to tell you the truth. So when you have people that can block for you up front, Donna, the other team's offense is on the sideline. So your offense is playing defense for you, which is a bonus. So those are the 4 teams remaining. Georgia had a good run. We know they won the SEC, and we always said they were the team to beat, but Ole Miss got them that second time because there's familiarity, no fear, and they were able to play a little bit better defense and get a few more possessions and win the ball game in an exciting Sugar Bowl.
I want to tell you, this has been some exciting year. I mean, nothing turned out like I thought it was going to be. Nothing.
Yeah, and you have 4, I would say, new teams. You know, Ole Miss, I think they won in 62. Let's say Oregon, maybe it's way back in the late 30s, 40s, maybe a title. You have Miami, they've won some titles in the last 40 years. You know, they come around. And then you have Indiana. They've never won a national championship in football. So I think it's extremely exciting to have these 4 new teams in the playoffs.
I really thought Vanderbilt would be a little higher up in the rankings.
Yeah, Vanderbilt ended up getting beat by Iowa in the bowl game, and they were trying to get to that 11th win, set a new win total for their school. It didn't happen, but Vanderbilt, we salute them. I mean, that's Indiana. Nobody could surpass that story, but Vanderbilt is right behind them to win so many games in the SEC and be ranked and have a Heisman Trophy contender, be there in New York. So, yeah, Vanderbilt, they're going to do some good things because they have excellent leadership with their athletic director, Candace Story, and also their head coach, Clark Lee. And I know that they're going to continue to be a team that threatens all the other SEC teams. You just can't show up and beat Vanderbilt anymore.
I agree. But now, how many losses did Vanderbilt have this season?
They ended up, Donna, with the 3 losses. They lost to Texas. They made a big comeback. I think it was 34-31. Lost to Alabama and Tuscaloosa 30-16. And then they ended up losing to Iowa. It was a pretty close game as well. So ended up with the 3 losses, but the 10 wins. That was a new win total for the school. So that's a magical season. When they look back 20 years from now, people will salute them and have high praise that they revived a program that was good at one time, like in the 50s. I think they had some good teams, and they had a couple teams with 8 or 9 wins in the 80s. And then in this decade as well, they had some winning seasons, 8-9 wins. So this is something brand new. But I just think with the transfer portal and the ability to acquire talent, negotiating the money for each player, and they have a smart coach and staff, and they'll be competitive, I think.
Well, now I know that if pigs had wings, they could fly, but I wanted to ask this one question. Had they beat Alabama, do you think this would have placed them much higher up the ranks as far as?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they would have been in the playoffs. If they if they had beaten Texas or Alabama, they would have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I think
they would have earned a berth. They would have earned a berth with that one loss in the conference for sure. Yeah, 11-1 Vanderbilt. Well, that would have been amazing. Vanderbilt, Indiana in the playoffs. That would have been incredible.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, the way the portal works, if I were a player in the portal, I would want Vanderbilt. Let me tell you why. I'd want to be the Lee Iacocca that turned everything around. I mean, I would want to be the one. I would want to be that hero. And I think they just need somebody. I just think that's all they need. They need a little bit more name recognition. I think they'd be on it. About 3 minutes left in this segment. Let's talk a little basketball. What do you think the season is faring?
Mentioning basketball, Vanderbilt undefeated down in basketball, men's basketball. And the women's has a good program as well. So Vanderbilt athletics overall having the last successful couple of years here, maybe even longer actually, but undefeated basketball. Excuse me. You see, Georgia has a good record right now, men's basketball. So that's a surprise to people. Alabama's playing fairly well. They had some early losses, but they played one of the top schedules in the country. Auburn's struggling a little bit at this point. There's some grumblings about with the players, some few things happening there, but they'll probably right the ship. Maybe South Carolina has a good record in men's basketball. Clemson has a good record in men's basketball. So I know those are some of the teams that we try to keep abreast of with the audience. So now you get into the conference play, Donna, and that matters quite a bit. And you're trying to get those non-conference wins to beef up your NCAA record to be eligible and worthy of a berth, earn a berth. So, but these teams right now have started out fairly well, those teams that I mentioned.
Absolutely. Okay, about a minute, a little bit less than 2 minutes left in this segment. So who is the Cinderella team in basketball this season?
Well, I'd say Vanderbilt at the moment. What's the undefeated record to start the early part of the season? And we shall see what happens. Basketball is so long, Donna, it ends up being 30-something games, close to 40, maybe when you get in the tournament and everything, and those games are played. But it's a long season. You have to survive and be healthy. And you have your ups and downs during the season. You may have a lull, couple games, 2, 3, 4 games. Maybe you have a losing streak, and all of a sudden you come back, get stronger near the end of the season around the league championship series and the NCAA tournament. So, but basketball, you have to, it's over the long haul because it starts in November and ends in first part of April. That's a long season. You
got to stay with it. You got to stay on top of things.
Yeah, stay with it. Don't give up on your team. They'll have some lows.
Uh-huh.
Every team does. Maybe an injury here or there, or you don't shoot the ball well a couple games, or your defense is poor or something. But those teams, the good ones will earn their berth.
Absolutely. We got to call it a day. AP, again, thank you so much for all your work. I know it's a lot of work what you do, but thanks for keeping us all informed. We definitely appreciate it through the years and looking forward to more years with you. Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for watching. We definitely appreciate that too, because without you, we wouldn't have a show. And thank you to all of our sponsors. We are tickled with the new sponsors. We actually had 5 new ones come with us this past December, which has been phenomenal. But again, thank you so much. And it's all because we have great guests like AP and because you guys watch the show. Okay, we'll see you next time around.
Because of your overwhelming support, our $14.88 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.